Just picture it as a vast, uncharted universe, brimming with mysteries just waiting to be discovered. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel, and every decision that we make is a part of this intricate tapestry woven by our psychological processes. It's like peeking behind the curtain of a grand stage show, revealing the hidden mechanics that drive our everyday lives. At the heart of this captivating world is the understanding that our minds are incredibly powerful, yet wonderfully complex. Consider for a moment how memories are formed and stored, or how dreams take shape in the depths of our subconscious. These aren't just idle thoughts, they're profound insights into the essence of what makes us human. The human mind isn't just about processing information, it's about creating a narrative of our existence, a story that we continually tell ourselves. Delving into psychology is akin to embarking on a grand adventure. You'll encounter concepts like the halo effect, where one good trait of a person can make us view everything about them in a positive light, or the bystander apathy, which reveals our hesitance to act in emergencies when others are present. These aren't mere observations, they're windows into the soul of human behavior, reflecting our deepest fears, desires, and motivations. What makes psychology so enthralling is its relevance to every aspect of our lives. From the way we form relationships to how we make choices, the invisible hand of psychology guides us. It's in the comforting hug of a loved one, the persuasive power of a well-crafted advertisement, or even in the resilience that we muster in the face of adversity. These aren't just random acts, they're the products of the intricate workings of our minds. As you dive deeper, you'll realize that psychology is more than just a subject, it's a journey of self-discovery. It helps us to understand not just others, but ourselves at a profound level. It's about unraveling the why behind the what, and in doing so, it offers us a chance to understand the beauty and complexity of human nature. So let's embark on this journey with curiosity as our compass and explore 15 interesting psychological facts about human behavior. Number 1. Mirroring mirage. Mirroring mirage, or the subconscious mimicry of others' actions, is like unconsciously copying someone without realizing it. Just imagine you're chatting with a friend who keeps touching their hair. Suddenly, you find yourself doing the same thing, even if your hair is perfectly fine. This isn't because you consciously decided to imitate them, it's an automatic response. Our brains are wired to mirror others, helping us connect and empathize. It's like an invisible dance where we match others' movements, building rapport without words. Number 2. The paradox of choice. The paradox of choice is like standing in a giant candy store, overwhelmed by the endless options. Just imagine you have to pick just one type of candy, but there are hundreds to choose from. Instead of feeling excited, you feel stressed and worried about making the wrong choice. This paradox shows that having too many options can actually make us less happy. It's like our brain gets jammed trying to pick the best one, and then we end up more anxious than if we had just a few choices. Number 3. The doorway effect. The doorway effect is like when you walk into a room and you suddenly forget why you went there. Just picture this. You're in the kitchen. You remember you need to grab your phone from the bedroom, but as soon as you step into the bedroom, you can't recall why you're there. This happens because entering a new space sort of resets your brain, making it harder to recall your initial purpose. It's like each room is a separate chapter, and moving between them makes you lose the plot. Number 4. The Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Have you ever learned a new word and then you started noticing it everywhere? That's the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon in action. It feels as if the word was always hidden and now suddenly it's appearing in books and conversations and on TV. This doesn't mean the word suddenly got popular, it's just that your brain is now wired to recognize it. It's similar to thinking about pink elephants and then seeing pink all around. Our brains are great at spotting patterns, especially with new and intriguing things. Number 5. The Tetris effect. Imagine playing a game like Tetris for hours, and then, even when you're not playing, you still see those falling blocks in your mind or in your dreams. This is known as the Tetris effect. It's like your brain gets locked in game mode, replaying patterns and images from the activity. It's a fascinating glimpse into how our minds can cling to something that we've intensely focused on, persisting even in our everyday activities and thoughts. Number 6. Rosy retrospection. Just think back to a camping trip where at the time the rain and the bugs annoyed you. Now, when you remember it, you mostly recall the laughter and the good times. This is rosy retrospection. Our brains have a habit of beautifying our memories, making the past seem happier and more pleasant than it might have been. It's like our mind edits out the bad parts and then creates a highlight reel, focusing on the joyful moments and downplaying the negatives. Number 7. The ostrich effect. The ostrich effect is like burying your head in the sand, just like an ostrich, to avoid seeing something that you don't want to deal with. For example, think about not checking your bank account because you're afraid it might be lower than you want. It's when we intentionally avoid or ignore negative or uncomfortable information. It's like turning off the news because it's always bad or not opening a report card. Our brain sometimes prefers to stay in the dark about certain things, hoping they'll just go away. Number 8. Emotional echoes. When someone in a group is in a particular mood, it often spreads to others much like a contagious yawn. This phenomenon is known as emotional echoes. Picture being in a room where someone bursts into laughter. You might find yourself chuckling along, even without knowing the joke. It's a way that emotions infect those around us. If a friend is feeling blue, you might sense a dip in your mood too. We humans are deeply social, and we tend to reflect the emotions of those we're with, creating a ripple of feelings. Number 9. The halo effect. The halo effect is like putting on glasses that make one good thing about a person outshine everything else. Imagine that you meet someone who's really funny. Suddenly you start thinking they're also smart and kind and cool, even without much evidence. It's when our brains take one positive trait and then we use it to paint a rosy picture of the whole person. It's like seeing someone help an old lady across the street and immediately deciding that they must be a great person in all aspects. Number 10. The clustering illusion. Have you ever looked at clouds and seen shapes like animals or faces? Our brains are really good at spotting patterns even in random things. For instance, if you're flipping a coin, you might think you notice a pattern like heads appearing more frequently. But in reality, it's just random chance at play. We're hardwired to try